I mean, thank you for saying that. 'Cause I don't like my job here isn't to prove people wrong. Like I prove myself right. And I fully have self belief, and what those people say, that's just their opinion. So I don't truly care. They don't really live in my mental space about that type of stuff. It really doesn't do anything for me.
And we're back. What's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. And you know what we do before we get started? We shout out our very own people, you, the viewer. While you're here, make sure you do your boy a solid and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. You know, and it seems that now that OTAs and mandatory minicamp are over, we had rookie minicamp, OTAs, voluntary OTAs, and then mandatory minicamp. And now we take a break. And from the start, Shedeur wasn't all that loved when he got in the city. Seems to me that things have changed. And Shedeur is more than loved in the city of Cleveland. Let's go. Now, if you don't know, if you didn't know, when Shedeur got here, it wasn't a lot of love for Shedeur because of all those nasty rumors of him being spoiled, being a brat, the meetings of the rumors of the meetings, and just not being coachable. But before Shedeur got here, we're going to take it back to what he should have been drafted in the first round and why.
4 years of outstanding production, whether it be at Jackson State or at Colorado, 80 plus PFF grade in all 4 years. His grade improved every single year as a starter as well. He reads defenses like an NFL quarterback already. He's a pure distributor of the football. Every mouth is fed when Shedeur Sanders is playing quarterback. Incredibly accurate to all levels of the field. His touch is spectacular. Second best on catchable pass rate over the last 2 years. Only Bo Nix was better. Does not put the ball in harm's way at all. 1.3% turnover-worthy play rate over the last 2 years. Again, only Bo Nix was lower than Shedeur Sanders. Incredibly poised despite taking a ton of hits from his offensive line. Clutch factor, too. There's not another quarterback in college football that you want in a 2-minute drill than Shedeur Sanders. Dalton, he has a 94 PFF grade on 2-minute drill at Colorado. That's the best in the nation by 2 points over the last 2 years.
I think he's the most NFL-ready quarterback right now. I think between the accuracy, you mentioned it, his processing, his ability to read defenses, and in any game, knowing what he needs to do to win the football game.
Would you take him number 1 overall for the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, I would.
I would too.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you would take him number off. But that ain't the way the draft went. But before we do all that, we know we got to give a shout out to our ladies, the CU aunties. Make sure y'all show them some love when they step in the chat, step in the comment section. Because they show us plenty of love. So we got to spread the love around. But back to Shedeur. When he got there and practice started, and rookie minicamp started, what were we met with? The love for Dylan Gabriel, the respect for Dylan Gabriel. Shedeur wasn't that great.
Better to you.
I thought Dylan Gabriel both days looked a little bit better.
Why?
He throws a tight spiral. He throws a beautiful ball. He's very assertive. He knows the pocket. You could tell that, even though they're not rushing. He just has a pocket presence. Better arm strength than I thought.
Height wasn't an issue?
Not in this venue. I mean, it's touch football right now. So,
but you're still counting the numbers.
Yeah, but the numbers are the only things that don't lie. I mean, you could say he's short. Yeah, he's 5'11". So he's short.
But you like it wasn't an issue now. It could be in the future.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I thought Gabriel was a little bit better both days. Doesn't mean Shedeur Sanders is a bust or anything. He just, the other guy looks better.
Don't mean Shedeur Sanders is a bust. It's just the other guy looks better. Tony Grossi. I don't think Tony's singing that same tune right about now. And neither is anybody else in Cleveland. And if you ask 95% of the fans in Cleveland, would they rather have Gabriel or Sanders, the majority will go with Sanders. The perception of Shedeur Sanders has changed through his interviews, through his gameplay, through what we got to see in practice, to what we got to see in the interview chamber. Perception has changed.
Personally, that Shedeur Sanders has the most upside. This disingenuous conversation about, technically, factually, that Dylan Gabriel was drafted higher. I get it. I can't imagine there are many people in the NFL that think Dylan Gabriel has a better chance of being a quarterback in the NFL than Shedeur Sanders. He dropped because of other things. Yeah. He didn't necessarily drop out of the first round because of other things, but he dropped all the way to the fifth round because of other things. It seems pretty clear to me that he's the more talented player of the two rookies. And so I just don't. And plus, if you're trying to not start the rookies because you think they're not ready, there's going to be way more external pressure to play the rookies if Kenny Pickett is starting versus Joe Flacco.
I don't think you can work.
That don't sound like all that hate that used to come out when Shedeur first got to Cleveland. I don't hear all that angst and all that doubt about who he is and what he is as a person or as a player. Now it's all love. Now it's, I think he can start. Hell, even Cowherd, well, he just jumped bandwagons to jump bandwagons. But he seems to think that the Browns looked up on Shedeur.
I'm Uncle Colin. So there were these two scientists back in like the 60s for 3M, the company 3M. And they were trying to create this super strong adhesive for the aerospace industry. But even though they're scientists and smart guys, they ended up creating a much weaker adhesive that was very removable. And that became Post-it notes, which are probably more important anyway. But the point being is they stumbled into wild success. And I think that's what the Cleveland Browns have done. The coach and the GM didn't want to draft Shedeur Sanders. And they did in the fifth round, 2 rounds after Dylan Gabriel. And he's crushing it. He's their best quarterback in camp. Colin, he's facing backups. Yeah, he's throwing to him as well. Sometimes you stumble into success. It's not a straight line. It's not linear. Brady with the Patriots, Brock Purdy to the Niners, Kurt Warner to the Rams. It's not always a straight line. So the staff, because they picked, and the GM, because they picked Dylan Gabriel 3rd round and Shedeur 5th, they're giving Dylan Gabriel most of the first-team reps, but not all of them now. Not all of them. The coaching staff cannot deny what's happening. And here's the difference. Let's forget Flacco for a second. He'll probably start, and Kenny Pickett's not the future. Let's concentrate on the two kids. Shedeur Sanders is 34 of 44. 9 touchdowns, 1 pick. The most accurate quarterback easily in camp, 77%. Dylan Gabriel is the least of the 4 accurate quarterbacks, 54%. Okay, so I'm sorry, they're all thrown to the same guys, same protection, same coaching staff. And that's why you got to be careful about Dylan Gabriel. If you just talk about Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, they did not have similar college experiences. Okay, Shedeur Sanders has Travis Hunter and a bunch of non-Sunday players. Dylan Gabriel went from powerhouse Oklahoma to powerhouse Oregon. And Oregon, outside of Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia, Oregon had the most guys drafted. They had 10 guys drafted, NFL receivers, left tackles, right? So Dylan Gabriel's playing with pros. Pros everywhere. Receiver, Rams drafted their tight end. The receivers, their left tackle. Pros everywhere. Great staff. One of the highest paid staffs in the country. Shedeur Sanders had Travis Hunter, who got doubled and tripled. So it's just like you and I, you can't compare a Yale GPA to a community college GPA. But if you give them a standardized test or they're taking the bar to be an attorney, okay, now it's fair. So that's why I think I don't want to hear about what Dylan Gabriel did in college. Shedeur didn't have that experience. The OTA and the mini camps, that's the standardized test.
And Shedeur is blowing them out the water in that standardized test. Like I said, the proof is in the pudding. The power is in the numbers. It's there for you to see it. You just gotta appreciate it, approve it, and Shedeur has made it undeniable. And that's what he's supposed to do. Make it undeniable to where they really don't have a choice but to play you. And Kevin Stefanski is almost ready to admit it.
Shedeur, you guys get to know him very well in the process. You've got to know him a lot better here in the last month. Obviously, when you are who he is and everybody knows who you are and has known who you are since you were probably 15, 16, there's something that's to that. But his teammates gravitate to him quite a bit. What have you learned about him over the last month?
I don't know that we've learned anything new because, like you mentioned, I feel like we have a great feel for this young man. He's a very, very hard worker. He has fun when he's in the building. I'm enjoying watching him progress with every single meeting, with every single rep. He's doing a great job. And I think as a young player, I don't care what position you're playing, you're going to run a play or you're going to get something wrong. That's so valuable because then you get to correct it, get it right the next time. And he's doing a really, really nice job. I think he's showing up early. He's staying late. And he continues to get better every single day, and that's the fun part. But just having him in the meeting room brings a great personality in there. It's fun to have. I sit right behind him. Joe is to my left, to Shedeur's left, and to see those two bounce ideas off of each other is hilarious. Joe will say a few things, and I'll be like, Joe, Shedeur wasn't born. He wasn't born then. So it's just he's got great energy, great kid, working his tail off, and he's playing really well too.
Exactly. He's doing all the things. That's all they ask. Just do all the things. And he's doing them 10 times better than everybody else. That's what makes it undeniable. That's what makes it irrefutable. What makes it so that you can't deny him his right. But like I said, the media in Cleveland was not a fan of Shedeur Sanders when he got there. Now, they all have changed their tune.
Question, because it's limited, but did one of the two look better to you in what they were asked to do than the other?
In just throwing the ball, it's not close. Shedeur Sanders.
It's not close
not
either.
Close. No.
Wow, that's okay. Now that's news.
That's news. But let me couch that by saying this is rookie mini camp.
Sure.
No pads, no full speed competition. Nobody coming to knock your head off.
It's telling. They're side by side, and they're not asked to do much, but they're both asked to do the same thing. And that one of them looked discernibly better than the other. I think that I didn't know that we would get that out of this mini camp.
We're standing here, Jay. They're on the field. They break the huddle from team stretch and team jog, and they go both pick up the ball and throw it. It's no question.
That's right. No question. Shedeur is that guy. Shedeur is that boy. Shedeur has made it undeniable. And he's also made most of these Cleveland pundits, reporters, beat writers change their mind. Because the perception was ruined by the New York Giants. They ruined his draft status because they wanted to punish his father. But it's all coming around. And once everybody gets on the same page, those questions will be asked. But you have to remember, hit the like button. That's what you do. Remember to do that. Remember to hit the like button. But you also have to remember that I told you that those cheers for Shedeur would start to get louder and louder. Now they're starting to pick up.
It's not a stereotype, but he was labeled as an arrogant, kind of cocky guy.
Yeah.
And then you hear him talk and watch how he's navigated this early process of being in Cleveland with the Browns. And he comes across completely different. Like, listen to how his teammates talk about him. Listen to how he answered the questions yesterday in particular about learning from Joe Flacco and being in a 4-quarterback battle and waiting for his turn to get the reps that he wants. And it just comes across, he's incredibly humble, well-spoken.
Yes.
And, like, I don't mean this as a negative, but kind of quiet, right? Like, you think Shedeur Sanders, you think the legendary change, you think the draft party. That usually comes with a guy that's boisterous and out there and loud and kind of in your face. And then you actually listen to Shedeur talk and you watch how he handles himself. You watch how his teammates have spoken about him. It's the complete 180 from what you expected to get. And I think that's part of the reason he's assimilated so well so far in Cleveland, outside of what we've seen in shorts, no pads with no pass rush, which, according to everyone we talked to, Zach Jackson in particular, the one I trust the most, says he looks the part of what you would hope for in a franchise quarterback as much as you can up to this point in the process. So more than anything I've seen on the field from Shedeur, because I can't take too much from guys throwing against basically air, no pass rush, I've been damn impressed with how he's handled himself off the field in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
I did not expect that on June 11th. I'd be like, Shedeur is the complete opposite of what I thought the Browns were actually getting.
Oh, really? He's the complete opposite. I wonder why what made you think he was that other way? I wonder. Ain't no need to wonder. It was all that bullshit they put swirling in the interwebs. In that, once, like I told y'all, this is why he can't get the number one reps with the ones in that rookie minicamp, in OTAs, or in this last minicamp, that just mandatory minicamp that just happened. He couldn't get the reps with the ones, and you see it. Because once you see it, you can't take it back. Once it's on the internet, it lives there. And everybody would know that he's the best quarterback in the business. But it's funny how perception changes once people see you, once they get to know you. But he was under those preconceived notions because of not only who his father was, but who the New York Giants said he was. And he was none of those things. He's quiet. He's reserved. Yeah, his draft party was extravagant, but that's what we do. Y'all got to remember, Shedeur is not poor. He's not from the hood. He had no struggles growing up. His daddy was him, that man. And he made a lot of money being that man. But yet and still, you gave him those labels. And here we are. All of us eating crow. Mary Kay Cabot, Tony Grossi, you next.
I think the question for me is, did we luck out? Because
I think we might have.
Because the kind of the talk, and I was sneaky intrigued by Dylan Gabriel pick, but there's just so much of the talk has been like, it doesn't look like an NFL quarterback. Like, that's what a lot of the talk is coming out of these sessions. And it's like, we took this guy in the third because we were so high on him. And if we didn't get lucky that all these other teams were just still passing on Shedeur and he just kept dropping to the point where we were able to trade up and grab him in the fifth, we'd be sitting here going potentially, and I'm not saying any of them are or are not the answer right now because it's been, 6 practices, but at least by the way things are looking and what we're hearing from reports and seeing videos, we could be sitting here like we don't have an answer. And it's like we've lucked into grabbing a guy in the fifth just because other people were passing on him that might end up being the future. And it's like, it's almost like a Trey Lance, Brock Purdy situation. Obviously that was more stark because Trey Lance went 3 and Purdy went literally dead last in the draft. But it kind of has that same feel like, yeah, Dylan Gabriel was taken higher than Shedeur, but it's, once you watch him play, it's just like that at this point, that doesn't matter. And this guy's just clearly better than the other guy.
It's not by luck. It was by design. that Shedeur was drafted, even drafted in the 5th round. Because like I've said and said a million times, and I'm not changing my mind, Shedeur was supposed to be an undrafted free agent. And then the owner of the Browns stepped in and said, you see all that money sitting over there. I want it. Go get it. He broke the code. He wasn't supposed to do it. That was a gentleman's agreement, because there's no way a person with that amount of talent that is that good at football sits until the 5th round. Nobody bites. Nobody calls. Bull crap. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Y'all know how we do. We don't do short videos. Yes, we do. Every now and then. You come over here, you gonna get you some information, some entertainment, a full picture, and I might even be shaved and looking pretty most of the time. Just don't feel like it right now. So don't judge me. Judge yourself. Say what I said. Damn it. But if they wasn't trying to make a point, we wouldn't be in this situation. If they didn't have it in for Deion Sanders, this wouldn't be. But instead, the NFL wanted to punish Coach Prime by punishing his son. And it literally backfired on you. You wanted him to shut up and sit down. And we run this. You do what we tell you to do. But instead, you made him the most popular 5th round draft pick in the NFL, the most popular player, the most talked about player in the entire NFL. Nobody talks about Cam Ward. Nobody well, we do talk about Travis. We ain't gonna even go there. We talk about Travis. Got a video coming for him too. I need to finish that video. But they're getting all this meat on Shedeur. Jackson Dart over there looking like boo-boo in New York. Seattle having a few problems out of Miro. We can see what Dylan Gabriel doing. Your Heisman Trophy winning round 6. Not your Heisman Trophy winner. Your national championship winning quarterback winning round 6. The best quarterback in Texas winning round 7. And y'all gonna tell me Shedeur was 5th round worthy? Get the hell out of here, man. Anyway, that's what we finna do. We finna get out of here. So y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your comments in the comment section. And while you here, click on one of them videos right above my head over here, left or right, and go and help a boy out. Get your grind on. I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.